It's
It's
not
like you have to
surprising
do
that you
it.
saw that. Yeah.
But no, it's like, because I do a lot of content for my job and stuff in these podcasts, and I'm like making them, editing them, doing all kinds of work, and they get, some of them do all right, but some of them get 4 views.
And then you
And then
post the one.
I go out, I go post my window, and I get like 23. I'm
Yeah.
like, you never know what's
That
gonna.
happens a lot, actually.
Yeah,
The less planned stuff, the really
it
candid
wasn't.
stuff, like.
Welcome to another episode of the In Your Home podcast. I don't. This is
market. Tony B is happy to
Would have to be Barclay Prime.
so how many games do you
Grew up in Monmouth County, Central Jersey, my whole life.
Now in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis.
Well, I love being an artist, man, because I want to make stories and.
Been based here in Philly for about 30 plus years now.
The commercial market is in good shape.
No, I need to be in control of everything. I'm a control freak.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the In Your Home podcast. We have another great local guest today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself now.
Hey, I am. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
My name is Brianna, and I am the founder of Taste Creators. And we can go into more of what that's about, but I help creatives and brands grow their audience and make money.
Do you do just like Philadelphia brands, or is it all over?
No. I've
Okay.
worked with people from all over the world.
Okay. So
Yeah.
how do
We're based here.
You're
but
based in Philly.
Born and raised here.
And how do they find you?
Man, social media, word of mouth, a lot of word of mouth, a lot of like, hey, we helped this person and now they
Okay.
enjoyed their experience, and from doing podcasts like this.
And how long has it been in existence?
Man, I've been doing this for a really long time. I've
Okay.
been an entrepreneur for like the last, 12 to 15 years. Taste Creators came about officially in like 2017, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I've been doing this for a little while.
Your first client, what type of client was it?
Man, my first client was in real estate,
Okay.
actually. Man, that was a while ago. Designing their website, doing their branding and all that. But I got into music at a really young age. So
Okay.
I kind of like been going back and forth from real estate to music for a little while. But I'm mostly in music now.
Are you like a musician, or you just like on the management type
I'm
stuff?
on the business side now. When I was little,
You
like
did
I
stuff.
did, yeah, like my dad played the keys. He was a singer-songwriter and a drummer, and
Okay.
so like I grew up in studios. My aunt owned a dance studio that my mom taught at, so I've been singing and dancing since I was a little girl.
Okay.
And I was performing for a long time, and then graduated high school and got out of it because we were just getting presented with like bad contracts, and my mom was like,
It's
nah.
enough. Yeah.
Yeah. But I got back into it on the business side in my early 20s. It just pulled me back in.
Yeah. So like when you said you designed a real estate company's website, did you like have to go to school to do that, or did you learn that on your own?
No, a lot of this stuff is self-taught, right? It's like, especially early on in your business, it's like, wait, I need this, and
Yeah.
I don't know if I can afford this, so I'm just going to teach myself how to do this. So some stuff I've definitely learned in school, but I didn't go to school for like web design and branding. I went to school for business,
Okay.
and marketing. And then like real estate taught me a lot,
Yeah.
But it's just when you're passionate, you learn.
You figure it out.
Yeah.
I've noticed that about everything. And like you don't actually, even if when you do go to school for the thing, until you actually like
Do
do
it.
it, you don't
Yeah,
really,
you don't know
it.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that with multiple different careers, and it's
And a
almost
lot
like,
of things aren't as hard as we make them out to believe in our mind.
yep.
You just got to try and then try again and make mistakes.
Yep. Real estate's like one. Like they
Yes.
make you go over so much schooling and training, and then like you get out of the training and you're like, I still don't know what I'm doing. But once you start doing it and like,
yeah, you got to really just throw yourself in it.
yep. So what's like the most exciting thing you've done since you've started this business?
Oh man, the most exciting thing.
Or
I'm
is
not
it yet to
prepared.
happen?
I think no, I think there's exciting things that happen all the time, right? Like and he's off camera, but Yoni will tell you, like, we do exciting because we work with creatives, so it's really exciting when you're working with someone and you start to see them thrive, and now you have, like, I don't know, record deals on the table, or they're really growing a fan base, or like you work with a brand and it's like, hey, we were like struggling and now because of your help we're thriving. So I think those are the things that are the most exciting about what I do. I don't know, I just love helping people.
Yeah. And like when people come to you for whatever it is that you're doing for them in particular, is it like a set price, or is it like
No, it's different depending on the situation, right? Like everybody, I like to customize things for people, especially when it comes to like brands and businesses. One person might have this and another person doesn't. So I kind of like, I always do like an audit and really figure out what is actually needed here. And also, what's the transformation, right? Like, where are you at now versus where do you want to be? And how to, then we figure out how we can get you there. So I do have like, coaching packages and stuff for artists and things, but most of those things are very custom per business.
Is any of it like performance based? So say like you bring up an artist and they turn into like the biggest star in America.
Yeah, some stuff. Yeah,
on,
some stuff. Yeah. Some stuff is like, yeah, we get paid on the back end out of the work that we do. Some stuff is, if the person or artist isn't generating income yet, a lot of the time it's like we'll get paid up front for a little while, and yeah.
So the way I found you was because Yoni, who's here, I posted a video from my apartment of a bunch of creatives making a video in the Acme parking lot.
I love it.
As I was getting out of the shower, getting ready to go out on a Saturday night, and I posted it on TikTok, and it like ended up getting like 21,000 views or likes and like almost 300,000 views. And he was like, "This happens all the time, Phil."
It does.
So like, I'll spend.
It's probably one of our guys.
It might have been. People knew him. Everyone knew him. They knew. It wasn't just him. It was a group of people, but they all knew each other. And this one guy jumped in. He was like, "I made that video." Like, and it was getting shared and shared and
I
shared.
love it.
And,
you were making fun of them?
I was more making fun of my view of where I live and like how much I pay to live there. And I see the Acme parking lot. But when I saw what was going on, I was like, "Oh, this is a little different. I'm going to film this." And it did well. But like, apparently he's like pretty good. This guy. He's going to send me the final cut of the
because now I want to
video.
know who it is and what it was.
I'll show it to you. But he was telling me that like this happens a lot in Philly, and like they're popping up all over.
Yeah, for sure. We live in a social media world now, so content rules the world. Everything, so it's literally, it's natural now. Everybody shoots content. It's not even weird anymore. No, it's a little weird for us, I guess, like seeing, like, because I'm a tiny bit older, but there's a lot of content being shot everywhere now. It's not like surprising that you saw that. Yeah.
But no, it's like, because I do a lot of content for my job and stuff in these podcasts, and I'm like making them, editing them, doing all kinds of work, and they get, some of them do all right, but some of them get 4 views.
And then
I go outside. I go post my window and I get like 23. Like, you never know what's
that happens a lot, actually. The less planned stuff, the really candid stuff, like,
yeah, like natural, just natural stuff. So Philly, you're from Philly. What part of Philly are you from?
Yeah, always lived in South Philly. Did my dirt in North Philly. But yeah, I'm a Philly girl.
Your office is in North Philly, but
yeah, well, our office is right at 2nd and Cecil B. So yeah, we're Northern Liberties, North Philly.
Yeah. Okay.
Neighborhoods are changing now.
Daily. So you're from South Philly. What was it like growing up in South Philly?
It was cool. I mean, I grew up in the era where we used to wake up and go run outside and like play all day, and like, now I don't know if it's the same. Everybody's afraid of Philly. I've heard horror stories. Philly's not that bad, guys. It is, but it's not.
Well, I've learned first of all, I had another guest who also was from South Philly. He said the same exact thing as you.
Yeah.
Like people used to go outside and play, and like that's what I kind of used to like. Even I feel like it's everywhere.
I would wake
but
up and like look forward to that.
do things. Right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing that you said is everybody thinks Philly's dangerous and it's not that bad. I feel like lately, everywhere I've gone, people are like, it's so dangerous there. And then
Yeah,
you
especially
go
people
there,
that aren't from here. They're like,
and then you go there
is it as
and
bad
like,
as we
it
thought?
wasn't like that.
It's not. No, it's not that
So
bad.
I think a lot of it's like media and they
It's
just
all
put-
that. Yeah.
yeah.
And don't get it twisted. You know, it's a
Stuff
city.
happens,
It's a
yeah,
city. Yeah,
yeah.
stuff happens, but stuff happens everywhere.
Mhm,
And you know, it's crazy stuff that happens in the burbs too.
mhm. Even the best areas in the world,
Mhm.
stuff happens. Yeah. Have you? Is there? I should say this. Is there a place in South Philly that you like going to the most?
Man, I like going to different places. I'm usually like I don't live that far from like Passyunk Ave.
Okay.
So there's a
There's a lot
lot of
there.
there's a lot of places over there. So
Yeah.
you'll find me like at Cantina or Joe's or Mara's or all the places that are on Passyunk Ave, usually just randomly on a weekend.
Okay.
A couple of my favorite spots though, like there's this one spot that I tell all my team about, Sampan. It's in
I
Center
like it
City.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
been there for a
attached to
while
Double
now.
Knot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's actually, so there's I think it's all the same owners. There's Sampan, then there's Double Knot, and then the last
bar.
one is Alpen Rose.
Okay.
Try that one.
I haven't been there yet.
Yeah, Alpen Rose.
I've heard some good things about it.
Yeah, it's so good. So
Yeah.
good. So expensive, but so good.
I like Double Knot, which is attached to Sandman.
It's
I like
kinda the
Sandman
same
too,
thing.
but it's so dark in there.
It
if you
is.
ever-
You can barely see
you
your
can't see
food.
the menu, especially when you're my age.
Especially
I'm like,
downstairs. Yeah,
That's what I
downstairs
mean.
is really dark.
downstairs,
Yeah.
Yeah, but I like it there. Do you like water ice?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so that's been like the standard
Who
question
doesn't
on
like
all
water
these.
ice?
I see people on social media say water ice, like
Are they're not from
they're
here.
not all from Philly.
They're not from
Yeah, but it's
It's
funny
okay.
to watch. So do you have a favorite water ice place in Philadelphia?
Oh man, you can kind of go like, well, there's John's
Hmm.
in South Philly. That's like a staple.
Everyone knows
Yeah,
that.
everybody knows John's. There's another spot. Are they still there? It's on like Oregon Ave, closer to Broad Street. I forget what they're called, but they were always really good. I don't know. I think like different parts of the city have different
Hmm.
like places that they like specialties, right?
Yeah.
Like South Philly, you go to for water ice, pizza,
Cheese
and
steaks.
hoagies.
Yeah.
But cheesesteaks you can kind
can
of
get
get
other
all over
places.
the city, you know?
Do you have a favorite cheesesteak place in Philadelphia?
Favorite cheesesteak place. I actually like there's one around here. I like Joe's Steaks on what is
In
it?
Fishtown?
Yeah, Joe's is really good. I like pizza places that have like there's a spot called J&J's in South Philly, like right down the block from Pat's and Gino's.
Okay.
And it's funny because like I'll drive by and I'll see all these people at Pat's and Gino's and I'll be like, just go a
there.
half a block down and get a cheesesteak from the pizza spot.
It's better.
It's a little
And no
better.
line.
Yeah. I'll take a cheesesteak from anywhere in Philly though.
Yeah. But there's good ones.
There's
I
definitely
feel like
good
more
ones.
places than ever.
For
Or at
sure,
least people are
for
trying.
sure.
Yeah.
New York people come here and they're like,
Yeah.
cheesesteak? What's the difference between a cheesesteak and a chopped cheese?
And we were talking about you'd be smart to open up a good cheesesteak place like anywhere in the
Anywhere
country.
else.
And
But
there's
don't trust
not-
it if it says Philly cheesesteak and you're not in Philly. Unless that person grew up here and they're getting their rolls and their meat shipped there, it's not a Philly cheesesteak.
So I was just in Columbia and I was just walking one morning and there was a place that said Philly steaks. And it was the whole restaurant was Philly themed. There was like Eagles pictures, Flyers pictures.
I mean, that's cool and all.
But I knew it wasn't going to be
It's
a
not the
Philly
same.
steak place. But I walked in and I met someone that was working there, and she was like, "The owner's from Philly."
Oh, okay.
So I got the cheesesteak, and it was definitely not as good as the ones at Philly, but it was good.
It was decent.
He's doing the right thing based probably on what he can actually get there.
Yeah.
The bread was pretty good, but
Okay.
not as good.
Not an
Um,
Amoroso roll.
No, I don't know what it was. I mean, it was good. The meat was good.
It had the
It was better than like I
the
was
basics of a
expecting.
cheesesteak.
I was definitely better than I was expecting. And I'd say if you were there and you want that, it's worth going to. But
Okay.
it just can't compare to like,
No.
yeah.
It's
a
those
long way
spots
away,
scare me.
yeah.
I was in like Florida one time and I saw like a Philly cheesesteak and I'm like, whoa, this is not a Philly cheesesteak.
Yeah. They're a little
I
different.
don't know. We take our pride in our cheesesteaks here.
Yeah, and they are different than in other places.
I don't trust it anywhere else.
Probably smart. What else do you like to do in Philadelphia? Or what do you, I shouldn't say, what are some of your favorite parts of Philadelphia? Why do you like
favorite
it?
parts of Philly? I think Philly has a lot of cool places. I think Philly is beautiful, actually, especially like around this time of year. Like if you drive around the art museum
Mhm.
and Fairmount Park, you're gonna see a lot of cool stuff. Like I don't know, I feel like there's so many places in Philly that are just like really beautiful,
Mhm.
and people don't know that like from the outside because
They
all the
hear the
media
media.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love like art museum area, like walking around there in the summer.
Okay.
It's so dope. And yeah, I like going in a lot of different places.
Do you like the winter?
Not really. I hibernate in the winter. I lock myself in the studio in the winter.
Yeah, I used to love the winter. I actually did really enjoy
I
it.
like the winter for how we dress in the winter.
Okay.
I'm like, I like pea coats and stuff
Clothing.
like that, but like, layers. But I don't like to be
Yeah.
cold.
I always loved it until like this year. This year it hit me and I'm like, I
Really?
can't do this.
What was the difference?
Everyone asked me that because it wasn't that bad of a winter, as far as like snow.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
But it just felt colder, or I'm just getting older, and I have a dog, so I have to walk it outside,
Ah, see.
and the wind, and like I got to the point where I was like, get me out of Philadelphia for a couple weeks, multiple times, and I never was like that before. So I don't know.
It wasn't even the
why.
coldest winter.
No, it wasn't that bad of a winter. That's why I'm scared.
But if you have to walk your dog every day,
Couple times, it was like a
that's
puppy.
why I have cats.
Probably.
I love doggies. I love
Yeah,
animals, but
but
like
cats
cats
are
are so much
easier.
easier.
Yeah. Is there something you don't like about Philadelphia?
Something I don't like about the potholes.
Yes, they've always been
The
bad.
potholes. Damn. I don't know. I think I have too much Philly pride. I don't want to talk
Yeah.
shit about Philly.
Okay.
I'm like,
All right,
wait,
well
can I curse?
then okay, so if somebody said you have to leave Philadelphia today, where would you go?
Where would I go? Probably like LA or New York.
Okay.
But New York's too expensive. Well, they're both expensive. I don't know. I never thought about leaving Philly, actually.
Yeah.
I want to have real estate in other places, but like, I don't know. Philly will always be
Your
my home, I think.
Yeah. It's crazy because people talk bad about it, but the people who are like from here either don't want to leave, or I know a lot of people that have left and then end up coming back. And then people that have moved to Philly and actually live here, like, don't want to leave.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
They love it. I mean, I think it's like when I went to LA one time, people were like, "Yo, you're not from here, right? Like, you're from the East Coast."
Yeah.
And what I have heard is like we have a realness about us. Like we say how we feel.
Yeah.
And I guess people appreciate that. I don't know.
I do. I always
I
liked it.
definitely do. Yeah.
Have you noticed it's gotten I shouldn't say Philly itself, just people in general have gotten maybe more like offended towards the genuineness, like softer.
I think just the world is
Yeah.
is sensitive now.
Yeah.
And
it
I think
does that.
social media probably played a role in that. But, if you're from Philly, you appreciate it.
Everyone on social media is like a therapist now. I've
Yes.
noticed,
Yes.
even if they have no therapy background.
ChatGPT.
Yeah. ChatGPT is getting really good.
It is. It is. I
Yeah.
love it.
So that was another thing. So like, is ChatGPT affecting like your business
In a great way.
in a good way?
Yes, in a great way.
So it's not taking away business
At all.
It's just
It
making it easier.
makes us more efficient. It speeds up the process on certain things. Yeah,
Okay.
it's awesome.
Yeah.
You gotta know how to use it.
Right. Because I've heard, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard a couple photographers say they're losing some of their business because of ChatGPT. Maybe the editing. I don't know. I can't see it being the picture taking.
Well, I mean, there's like photo like generators and stuff like that, so maybe
Yeah.
that's why. But for us, no, I mean,
It's
it
just
helps
helped.
us. It's
It's
yeah,
helped me
it
with a
definitely
lot
helps
of
me.
things.
It speeds up the process. It helps me plan better. It's so much. It's awesome. I don't know how I lived without it.
And it's only been here a little while. But there's like people that are like refusing to use it or just like aren't
They're missing out.
experimenting
They're
with it
missing
to
out.
figure out how to use it.
Yeah, they're missing out.
There's people creating books how to use it when it's like you don't need a book to figure it out. You just have to play around with it for a half hour.
Yeah, they probably use ChatGPT to make the book.
They did. And they're making a lot of money on it. But it's kind of amazing.
Got to tell it to do stuff.
You do.
People ask it questions, and I ask it questions from time to time, but like
You have to
you
give
have
it a
to
little
give it a
guidance,
lot of
say who you are,
information and tell it to do something. Like, take this information and write this email.
Exactly. Is there like an area of Philly that is like brings in more talent than other areas, or do you think it's just all over the
I think
place?
it's like Philly in
Okay.
general. Like
Okay.
Philly is a very it's funny because we're not a music city technically, right? Like whenever you think of music cities, you always think of like where the record labels are, right? Like New York, LA, Atlanta, Miami. Philly is like, I like to say that Philly's your rapper's favorite rapper. If you ever heard that saying before, it's like we have so much talent here and so much soul, and you can go on any block in Philly and find a singer, a rapper, a drummer, a guitar, like it's just so much talent out here. And I think that it's some of it is just untapped.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I think we have so much soul and talent in Philly.
So what would you say is like the biggest challenge for like a creator who's like trying to get noticed in Philadelphia?
I think the first challenge is the mental roadblocks, actually.
Okay.
I think that like any creative comes with a little bit of like insecurity. I think even with what we do, right? And when you realize that like I just got to get out of my own way and I got to take this serious and I got to, I think that's when you really start to thrive. And versus like, oh, there's so many music, there's so many artists, there's so many people doing this thing that I'm already doing. Like, and you're looking at the competition and it's, so I think that one of the biggest roadblocks is like knowing that you can turn your creativity into an income and, being able to actually like bet on yourself in a way, just like an entrepreneur would. A creative that wants to make money, now you're an entrepreneur, now you're a business, and you have to come to terms with that and like run a business, So I think that's one of the biggest, like it really just starts from within. And then a lot of times it's like money, like, oh, well, I don't have the money to do these big things that I want to do. But I've seen people start with their phones and thrive, You got to start somewhere. You have to like start with the cards that you're dealt, So, yeah.
Do you have a favorite venue in Philadelphia that you like seeing artists at?
Favorite venue? That's the thing. Like in Philly, a lot of the venues have closed down over the years too. I go to a lot of stuff at like the TLA naturally, and now there's the Met. There's like Milk Boy. What was that, like 11th and Chestnut? You can usually see some really cool stuff there. Yeah, mostly those type of venues.
Okay. Do you ever work with like comedians or is it more like music related? Or?
It's no, I've think no, I haven't worked with any comedians as far as like really working with them. Like we've come across some comedians that shoot cool content and stuff, and they'll like book the content studio or something. But
because I have I did a podcast with a comedian she's from LA, and we connected online, and she's coming to Philly in a couple weeks, and keeps contacting me like almost like I'm your job. Like
hey,
how can I get can you contact the like the associate what organizations can you promote me? And I'm like, that's not really my
yeah,
my
I mean,
job.
we might be able to help. I mean, is she trying to do a show or
She's
something?
got a show like lined up on May, I think 14th.
Oh, so it's here. Like she already has the
it's
show.
at the Punchline.
Oh, okay, I'm familiar. Yeah, right across from the Fillmore.
She's a good comedian. Like she's been on Netflix.
Oh, dope.
But she's, I guess, new to Philly.
Oh, so
doing
she's
a
just
show
trying to like
here.
get to different
She's on
radio
tour,
stations
so
and
she's
stuff?
gone to different places, but she like needs help promoting the show at
Oh, okay,
Punchline, I
we could
guess.
probably help with that. We can
Yeah,
help with
I
that for
can give her.
sure. Send her our way.
Yeah. I'll send it to you. She contacted me this morning asking me how I get from the airport in New York City to Philly. And I said, you probably should have flew to Philly, but
Yeah,
these are the options.
she can get here in an hour and a half. Amtrak.
Is there an Amtrak from the airport though, or do you have to like
From
go
the
into?
airport, I'm not sure.
I wasn't sure about that either. That would
Yeah,
be
that I'm not
nice.
sure. I don't know.
Yeah, and Amtrak's another thing. I always used to think it's really expensive, and it can be.
It can
but if
be.
you book it in advance,
It's
I've
not.
seen it
Yeah.
like as cheap as $20.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty easy to get to New York.
It's very easy to get to New York.
Yeah.
Or you can take a bus.
You can do the bus.
2 hours
thing.
though. 2.5 sometimes.
Yeah. Do you have any like what's your biggest like success story with anyone or any
Biggest success story. I mean, when it comes to artists, I feel like I'm still building that. Like
Okay.
I feel like we've done a lot. And sometimes I don't celebrate, I guess, as much as I should,
Because
right?
you keep going.
Because we just keep going.
Yeah.
Because my goals are so big that
Uh-huh.
it's not like I don't care that we did this cool thing, but like
You're looking for the next thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that we've definitely helped a few businesses like really thrive. Same thing with artists. So, I'm not gonna put everybody's name out there, but we've definitely we've
done some stuff.
we've done some stuff.
And it's like someone comes to you to promote them. What like avenues do you use to like get their name out there?
So first thing is having a plan though, right? We always start there
Okay.
because people come to us and they're like, how do I market myself? Or like, how can I really need promo,
Mhm.
but it starts with having a plan, and there's a lot of different ways that we go about it though. It's usually like definitely a social media content strategy, and there's things that come with that as well. Like I need to know who you are as a person, as a brand, as a business, in order to even be able to come up with the content strategy. But it's
Okay.
definitely outside of social media content, there's like ad campaigns, digital marketing, stuff like that. It also depends on like who it is. If I'm working with an artist, there's going to be different outlets that we get them on versus if I'm working with a brand or a restaurant or something, there could be like influencers,
Mhm.
podcasts, things like that. I'm also very big on just helping, whether it's a brand, a business, an artist, like hone in on who is already paying attention right now, right? So like because a lot of people are trying to constantly reach new people,
Mhm.
but they don't realize that like the current people that you have, if you just really nurture those relationships, they're going to spread the word as well. So I help artists and brands and businesses like hone in on their newsletter,
Okay.
like collecting emails and phone numbers and like understanding how to send the proper newsletter and really truly communicate with their community, and like taking things off of Instagram and off of TikTok, and being able to reach people one-on-one. I love doing stuff like that.
It's funny you say that because so I don't do as much newsletter stuff as I probably should.
We can help.
I just get lazy and I can do it, but I just don't do it. But every real estate agent throughout Philadelphia sends a weekly newsletter, and it's so bad.
It's gotta be
the
good.
subject line will actually say copy of newsletter.
Oh, wow.
And they don't I think I got 4 today, the same thing. And they
See,
just don't
it's gotta
proofread
it's
or,
gotta
like,
be good. It can't be a newsletter that like doesn't speak to your audience. It's gotta.
and they all have the same what's going on in Philly, and it's all the same. It's almost like it was taken from the same, like maybe it's ChatGPT.
It might be. That's the thing with ChatGPT, right?
Yeah.
Since everybody is using it, I can tell when something is
Yeah.
like completely ChatGPT.
You have to like make
like
it.
you really got to still customize it. You use ChatGPT to like get you started, have an outline.
Yeah. But if I was a client looking to buy a house and I'm getting 4 of the same bad newsletters, so like I think if somebody took the time to like really make a good one,
Well, you want to have it in your
different one.
voice
Yeah.
as well. Like you want to have your own personality. Like even when it comes to, I have an example would be in music, right? The artist can send a newsletter speaking directly to the person that is opening up the email, right?
Mhm.
Or the label can send it and have it be like this generic, like it's the one that's more effective is going to be the one that's coming directly from the artist and like they're speaking to their fan, if that makes sense.
Are there like Philly-based labels? Or are
Yeah,
they-
there's definitely Philly-based label. I don't think there's major labels
Yeah,
here
like
though.
littler.
Everything is in New York and LA, and yeah. But there's a few Philly-based labels for sure.
Do you ever have to travel for your job? Or
Yeah, I mean we're back and forth to New York a lot
Okay.
recently for sure, and we'll be traveling a lot more because we have a couple artists that are like definitely on the way to like we're starting to set up a lot of shows and
okay,
things like that.
are they
So
from Philly or not even?
yeah,
from-
well, one of them's from Philly, one of them's from Jersey.
Okay. What do you see as like the future of your business? Like, or where's it gonna go? Or
Oh man. Well, you're gonna like I've been gunning for like I'm gonna take an artist to the moon.
okay,
So that's what we're working on right now. And it's happening. It's wild.
what's the
happening right
moon?
now.
Like, what would that be?
Really widely known,
Okay,
right? Like you would know who they are.
concerts and
Yeah,
all
the whole
over.
nine, yeah. Because we've done that independently, you know. But like I don't know, I just have big goals. So I definitely see us really honing in more on the artist management side of things. I also see us having a nonprofit pretty soon to help independent artists with a lot of the different things, learning the business, making sure that they have, they know how to do their just register their music properly and all that stuff. I see us having just different departments for brands and businesses, and we have some pretty big goals.
And you said you started in real estate.
Mhm.
What did you do like when you were in real estate? Like what's
I started in leasing.
okay?
I was working at where was I working? Chancellor Building on Walnut Street.
Okay,
Assistant property manager for a few
Okay.
years. Then I was
was
working
that a
at-
hard job?
That was a pain in my ass.
Because I've seen property, man. They just get
It's
bombarded. with-
yeah, and I was an assistant property manager,
Okay.
but like and a leasing agent at the same time.
Yeah.
It was wild, but I don't know, for some reason I enjoyed it. It's just like the music industry is wild, but like
Yeah.
we're
It
thriving.
keeps you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not boring. It definitely is like something different every day.
Okay.
And I think that's what I always loved about real estate too. It's like
Yeah.
I'm
That's what I
talking
like.
to a bunch of different people all the time, and I'm getting to explore different places that I would have never seen if I wasn't in real estate. So I love it. I want to get back into it. Now I get
Yeah.
everybody in real estate. I got my little sister
Yeah.
in real estate, and she's like killing it.
Is
She
it?
like racked up $100,000 and then moved to Costa Rica for 6 months. I'm like,
That's
sheesh.
so she in Philly.
Yeah, she's in Philly.
I was just in Costa Rica and I didn't want to come back.
Yeah, she
So I
doesn't.
know-
She never
so I
wants to
know-
come back. She's like, I'm
Yeah.
just out here hugging trees.
And it's crazy. When I was there's so many Americans that are doing that.
She just bought land out there and everything.
Yeah, she's smart.
We're gonna probably build a studio in Costa Rica pretty soon.
Have you been there yet? Or-
I have not been there yet. She's
Yeah.
been begging me to go out there, and
You
I'm
should
like,
go.
too many bugs. I'm a city girl.
Yeah, it's definitely like the wilderness, but
It's beautiful though.
it's really nice. Yeah, and cheaper and
Yep. Every
Good
time she goes out
food.
there, she's like, I'm not coming back. I'm like, please come back.
I didn't want to come back. I only went for a week, and I was like,
Yeah, she was out there for
So-
like good 6 months.
yeah, a lot of
And it
people
was
do that.
it was actually a big adjustment
Mhm.
coming
back.
back. Yeah.
Did she come back in the winter?
She came back like right before the summer. Yeah, right before the summer, I believe. This was like last year sometime.
Okay.
And just, an adjustment when you're living
Yeah,
on the
from
beach
one-
in the forest
and then
for
you're
6
back in
months, and now you're back in this.
selling real
It's like,
estate.
whoa. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know if you have anything you want to like tell anyone or ask any questions you want to ask me.
Man, I mean, how did you get in real estate? We're gonna switch this up.
So
I'm gonna interview you now.
okay, so I think everyone gets into real estate at some point. No,
I think everyone should get into real estate. Everybody's
Yeah.
always gonna need a place to live.
that's true. That is like the biggest point that like I tell everybody, like even as bad as the economy is, they have to live
It
somewhere.
goes up and down. Yeah, you have to live somewhere. So
Yeah.
that's why I got into leases, because it was like great money at the
Yeah.
time, right? It's because, you know, leases versus selling is like selling, you're going to get a bigger check, but leases, you can do so many of them that you can like rack up a lot of money in a short period of time.
Yeah.
And but everybody needs a place to live, and even if you're not going to get into real estate to like do real estate, it's just great stuff to know for when you're ready to buy a house or you're ready to rent an apartment. You can know what to look for, and know if it's priced properly or not. And so I like for everybody to get in real estate. I think
Yeah.
artists should get in real estate.
So I got into it, going back to your question, my parents were in it. They were real estate agents. I never wanted to do it because I grew up here in real estate 24/7. And I was a lawyer. I was in sales in New York City for like big internet companies, and I
Okay.
liked the sales aspect. And then came back to Philly and eventually got into real estate just because everyone was saying you should do it, you'll be good at it, and I just did it and haven't stopped. But it's funny you say that because with leasing, that same Acme supermarket TikTok video, someone reached out from Washington D.C. They're moving to Philly for a job, and she was like, "Where should I live?" And like, I can't really tell them. You're not really allowed to tell them where to live, but like,
Yeah.
you can like say you'll show them stuff. And I said, like, what is like the budget you're looking? Because she said she needed parking, and I said, well, parking in
Good
Philly's
luck.
not the easiest. You really
Yeah.
need like a lot, and they could be expensive. So I said, what's your budget? Thinking she was going to say what most people say, anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. And she was like, about 15 to 17,000 a month. And I was like, all right, well, then I won't feel bad about the parking. It's
Yeah,
like
we got you on the
$400.
parking. Yeah.
But I'm like, you could kind of get anything for 15
Yes.
and then you don't need to spend that much. I said to her, you don't
No.
really need to spend. You can get a really nice place for a lot less. So, but it came from that
That's wild though.
crazy video. Yeah.
So she was from DC. So
Yeah.
that's how much the rent is down there now?
I mean,
wild.
I don't think you have to spend that much there either, but like, she must have a good job, and
Well, yeah.
they're moving her.
17
and-
grand a month?
Yeah, but when she said it, I was shocked because I was
Sheesh.
like, I was
Someone
scared
get
to
you
tell
the
her about the
penthouse and
parking.
Rittenhouse.
I know, like, yeah, she could pretty much go wherever she wants in
Mhm.
Philly.
Mhm.
And I said, you don't really have to spend that much because I don't want her
No.
spending as
You can get a
know.
beautiful place kind of around here, like Fishtown,
Mhm.
Northern Liberties. You can, for
Yeah,
3 to 5.
yeah, definitely. That was interesting. But
That's
yeah, things
awesome,
are
man.
definitely more money in DC and New York, and yeah.
Yeah, New York is wild. I always wanted to move to New York, and
I
now that I
did.
go up there, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, people I know
It's
that
so
like
expensive.
still live there tell me it's changed, and like they still like living there, but it's gotten different than it was, and the
I like
safety's
Philly
not.
because it's a happy medium. It's like I love New York, don't get it twisted, but
Yeah,
it's so crowded and congested. And like here, it's still crowded and congested,
but
but it's just
it's a
not
step
at,
down.
yeah, it's a little bit less.
Yeah, if you like a city, you want to be here.
Yeah, I think it's a happy
Yeah,
medium.
if you totally hate a city,
It's
then you want to be out.
walkable. It's yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. It's pretty walkable, somewhat affordable compared to
compared to New York,
yeah.
but that's why they're all moving down here.
Hmm.
So much development has been happening in Philly.
And a lot of it is because of the New York aspect. Yeah, and I noticed like people. I was telling the last person I spoke to, I don't see that many people in Philly moving to other places in Philly. They're either staying where they are,
Usually,
but
yeah.
I see people like either from New York, DC, or people in the suburbs now are actually coming back into Philly, which kind of stopped for a few years, like with COVID. And so they want to be in the city, which is a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, I would want to be in the city instead of the suburbs too.
Me too. I've done both. Yeah, but thank you for telling us all about your business and you, and
Thanks for having me, man.
taught me things I never knew. I'm gonna keep putting Acme videos on TikTok
Yes,
and see
do
what
that.
happens.
I
Yeah,
gotta
but
see it
let
now.
everyone know like how they get a hold of you if they ever want to reach out.
Oh yeah, I mean the company is called Taste Creators. It's exactly how it's said, Taste Creators. So tastecreators.com, at Taste Creators on every platform across the board. Also, I'm Brianna DeMayo. So if you
Okay.
at Brianna DeMayo on
Did
Instagram.
you create the website?
Yes.
I'm gonna check it out. I saw your Instagram, but I have to check out the website.
Yeah. Well, actually, I paid somebody to do our website, but the
Okay.
updated version of it I did.
You can do it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, look forward to look. I'm gonna follow you now and see what
Yeah,
happens.
and I have to see that
I'm
video. You
excited.
have to send me that
I'll
video.
send it to you. But I'm also getting the actual person who was filming it,
They're gonna be.
looking at the city. So I'm gonna have both versions
I love that.
once it comes.
I need to see it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Wraps
Thanks for coming on.
up.